Hey everybody, and welcome to this video. This is going to be a first impression and wear test on the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I've heard a lot of really good things about this foundation, especially from Juicy Jazz here on YouTube, and I really do trust her recommendations. I've gotten a couple of different products off of her recommendation and really like them. So whenever she recommends something, I tend to have a little bit more trust in that product. So she has been like obsessed with this foundation, so I wanted to give it a try. She also has oily combination skin and it works fine on her skin, so I don't have any like real hesitations about it being an oily mess. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing how this foundation looks and wears throughout the day, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so this is the foundation here. I ended up getting the shade Neutral Chan. They did have testers at Ulta, and so I was trying it on my hand and trying to figure out which one kind of best suited my skin tone. And then when I got outside, they all looked super like orangey and just not good, so I'm hoping that this is not the case with this foundation, but I am not sure. So it does have 1.01 fluid ounce, which is a little bit more, like just a teensy bit more than the typical amount, which is 1 fluid ounce of product, and this is supposed to be a naturally radiant foundation. So I'm really excited to see what it's all about. I don't tend to go for more dewy or glowy foundations, but I've just seen people wearing it and seen pictures and stuff on Instagram of people using the foundation, and it looks really, really nice on their skin. So I wanted to go ahead and give it a try myself. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So I do have my face fully prepped. So I did wash my face, and then I toned and then put on my vitamin C and my hyaluronic acid serums, and so now I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. So I'll start by just using the Smashbox primer water. And then I've also been using the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer. I know a lot of people have been having like different like sponsored posts and stuff on Instagram, but I really wanted to try it, and I tested it at Ulta, and I really liked the feel of it. It's like a smooth kind of like gel like feeling, so I wanted to give it a try because I don't really like the silicone-y like kind of feeling like the original Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but this felt like a little bit more like a gel, and it's super mattifying, and so far I really do enjoy it. So yeah. So now that we are all prepped and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of the product. So I'll do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge like I normally do, and kind of see what it's like. So this is what the shade looks like here. Again, it is neutral tan, so it is a very neutral. I feel like it might be a little bit too neutral though for my skin tone. I feel like I just need a little bit of warmth, so I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Pro Pigment in the shade Yellow and do just the teensiest little bit, like you can barely see it, and just mix that in just so it's a little bit more on the yellow side than like the orange side, but we'll see. So I'll do this side with the foundation brush. This is the Flower Beauty Foundation Flat Top Brush, another recommendation from Juicy Jazz that I just recently picked up, and I'm just kind of testing it out. So yeah. That coverage is really good. I wasn't expecting like the fullest of full coverage, since it is more of a dewy foundation or like a glowy foundation. I figured a lot of times dewy foundations don't have as much coverage, but that's not bad. I'm not really seeing like a ton of glow. I don't know if the like foundation brush is like mattifying it, but it's not like super duper glowy. It kind of looks like more of a satin matte finish over here. Interesting. So I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild sponge, which was what's left over on my hand, and see what that looks like on the other side. So you definitely get more coverage with the foundation brush, as you can see, but it's still pretty decent coverage with the sponge. It just looks a little bit more natural, where this one just looks a little bit more like high coverage, I guess. So I mean, I technically I prefer like more of a fuller coverage. So I think what I would do is just go in with the foundation brush just to get that coverage, and then go over it with a sorry, my throat. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit more, kind of dot it there, and add more coverage right here on my cheeks. Okay, now that it's kind of set into my skin a little bit more, I feel like the shine is kind of coming through a little bit. It still doesn't look like super glowy or super dewy or anything. It kind of looks a little bit more like a satin matte, but just maybe a little bit more dewy than a typical satin matte, but definitely not like anything crazy. So I'm so far, you know, so good. I like how it looks. I like the coverage. I think that it looks a little bit more matte with the foundation brush, but you do get a fuller coverage. But then the sponge, you do get a more of a natural kind of look, like a healthier kind of like skin type of look, but it is a little less coverage. So I would kind of feel like I would go with the foundation brush for the coverage, and then kind of just blend it out for the moisture, and just to get a little bit more of that like natural kind of feel with the sponge afterwards. But I mean, both sides look good. I think that, you know, it gives good coverage. It covered a lot of my hyperpigmentation. I mean, there's still just a little bit, but like not a lot of foundations and stuff really like fully cover it unless I use like a correcting concealer underneath. So that's not something that I'm super concerned about or anything like that. So what I'm going to do now is just go off camera really quickly, finish up the rest of my face and makeup, then I'll come back and show you what it's looking like with everything on top and how it's set and all of that. So the time right now is 12:42, so that's the time that we put on the foundation, and then we'll kind of go into the wear test after I finish up the rest of my makeup. So I'll be right back. Alright, I am back with my makeup all finished, and I did go ahead and film a video with this look. So if you're interested, that video should already be up. It is comparing the new Wet n Wild 40 pan palette to the James Charles and Morphe palette, and seeing if it is a dupe for only $20. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out after you finish this video. But yeah, so all the makeup details and all of that will be in that video. But yeah, so this is what the makeup is looking like. So it's been about an hour since we put on the foundation, because it is 2:10 now, and it was what, like 1:45 when I not 1:45, it was like 12:45 when I went off to do my makeup. So it's been like a little bit over an hour since we actually applied the foundation. But this is what it's looking like with all of the powders and all of that on top. Definitely still looks good. I like the way that it's looking. It's not super matte, but it's not overly dewy. So I kind of don't really see the like super glow claims that it's giving. I don't know. Ooh, you know what it could be though? Ooh, I didn't think about this. Maybe when I added that yellow pigment, but I only added a little bit. I feel like it shouldn't have made that much of a difference, but maybe that could have affected the glow from it. I mean, it's not like that it's like super matte or anything. It's just I thought it was gonna be a little bit more dewy, but I'm not mad at it, honestly. Like, I really like the way that this is looking. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is kind of just go off, do my thing for the rest of the day, have a couple of check-ins and show you how it's looking. But so far so good. This is what, like a 1 hour check-in, I guess you could say. So yeah, the time now is 2:11, so I'll kind of check in a couple of hours and we'll see how this foundation is holding up. Alright, so I'm back and the time is now 7:28. So it's been about maybe like almost 7 hours since we applied the foundation, and this is what it's looking like. I'm sorry if like there's a little bit of like a buzzing or anything behind. I have my heater on because it's just like way too cold for me not to have it on. So yeah, but anyways, this is what the foundation is looking like, and I think it looks really, really good, especially for 7 hours of wear. Like, okay. I will say that around this time of the year when it is colder, my skin is not as oily, so foundations tend to last a little bit better and a little bit longer and just kind of wear better on my skin because I don't have as much oil being produced. So with that being said though, I think the amount of oils that I've had really make the foundation look good. It kind of looks like more luminous, not like, oh my gosh, an oily mess, you know what I mean? So looking up close, it doesn't look bad. I don't see any areas that I really think look bad at all. I mean, there's like a little bit of oil like being produced like right here on my nose. It's a little bit shiny, but other than that, like, I don't think I have any complaints. There's a little bit of flaking underneath my eyes, but like just very, very minimal. Like you can barely see it unless you're like up close in my face. Just a little bit of flaking from my mascara. If I just take like a little brush and dust it away. It's good as new. So I mean, at this point it's 7 hours of wear and I feel like I don't even need to like touch up or anything like that. Like I think it really has lasted very well. I will say the coverage is good, but if I had to compare it to like my current favorites, which is like the Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation or like the Pure Selfie foundation, those two, I don't know, there's the way that they cover and the smoothness, it kind of just like smooths out my skin and my texture really, really nicely, where this doesn't emphasize anything, but it doesn't really have as much of like a smoothness to it. Like I can still kind of see the texture, if you will. It's not emphasizing it, but it's definitely not like hiding it in a way. So that's the only thing. But again, it's not a bad foundation by any means. I would definitely wear this, and especially because it's lasting so well, I definitely will keep on wearing it. So I'm going to just wear it a few more hours, maybe like another 3 hours or so, get like maybe a 10-hour wear out of it and see what it's looking like, and then we will end the video. So I'll come back like around 10:30ish and we'll see what's going on. Alright, so I'm back and the time is now 10:29, so just under 10 hours I've been wearing this makeup and I am ready to take it off and go to sleep, especially because I have to be up in the morning for work. Why is the weekend not long enough? I swear. But yeah, so this is what the foundation is looking like. It's just a little bit more oily. Definitely have a little bit more oil production going on in that T-zone than we did 3 hours ago when we checked in. But it's not like it's fading or kicking up or anything like that. It's literally just, you know, getting a little bit oily. And because of that, like right here on my nose, I guess it does have a little bit of like breaking up right here, like where the concealer and stuff is. So I guess with that concealer and foundation and oil, all of it together is just like not really doing well. But other than that, like, and that's also, you have to be like all up in my face. Like nobody's all up in my face like that, like ever. Yeah, it's nothing that is like super noticeable if you're not all up in my face, if that makes sense. My foundation is still looking good. My concealer is looking a little bit dry, but that might just be in comparison to the rest of my face, or like the surrounding area is like a little bit more oily because it's like in my T-zone, but under my eyes doesn't ever really get oily or anything like that, so it's just looking just more matte than the rest of my face. So yeah, it's gripping right here in my chin a little bit. These breakouts, not really gripping to it, it's definitely collecting on the sides of my nose. I've also been like wiping my nose because I'm getting a little bit of a cold as well, but I don't think like a lot of the foundation has really rubbed off around the area, or my nose isn't really red or anything, so that's really nice. And yeah, I mean honestly, for 10 hours of wear and absolutely no touch-ups, I think that this is looking pretty dang good. I don't know what y'all think, but that's what I think. So let me go ahead and just take a blotting sheet. Let's do a little bit of a touch-up, see what if we could bring it back to life after 10 hours, even though it's not really all that dead, you know what I mean? Alright, so now I'm going to do is just go in with that blotting sheet from Palladio, which has some powder on it, and just go down my T-zone where I'm oily. Sometimes I kind of just go like over top of my eyebrows because I feel like those can kind of get a little bit oily as well. This is the oils that we have on our face, and this is what our face is looking like. And after I do that, I always just like to do a little spritz of like a setting spray or anything like that, just so it's not like super matte and dry and powdery looking. So reaching for the first one, this is the Makeup Obsession Fit Fix Extra Hold Makeup Fixing Spray. Just do a little because I'm literally about to take it off in 0.2 seconds when I end this video. Alright, so this is what the foundation looks like with a little bit of a blot and spray touch up, and I'm not mad at it. I would honestly continue on wearing this, going about my day. If I had more than 10 hours worth of wear that I needed, I would definitely not feel, you know, like embarrassed about this foundation. Like, it's not really breaking up, it's not looking terrible. We brought it back to life a little bit more just by, you know, getting rid of those oils and, you know, taking away the powderiness from the blotting sheet. So yeah, that is this video. Like I said, I'm gonna go and get my butt in bed, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below if you guys have ever used this foundation or what your thoughts are on it. If you're interested in using the foundation, let me know down below. Also, what other videos you guys want to see. I definitely have more content coming up. Don't you worry. Definitely subscribe if you're into it and you want to see what's coming. You know, I would love to have you. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.